Oh boy.
We had like 18 viewers last week.
I know, I'm just...
I just saw you on
What
Pet
the
Baby.
hell is going on? Are we live?
I saw you. Now you're live.
I just
Okay.
got popped.
I got you.
Okay. What's wrong?
Oh, dude. No, your shirts.
Oh, okay, because I like... Some of my computers, I'm not on, like, my
Dude.
normal... I'm not on my
No,
normal
you're like
widescreen.
picture clear right now.
Huh, okay, well, let
Mine.
me get a look on here, because...
So let's
Miss
see.
Ace is
Okay,
in
so
there.
we've
Hold on.
had Raw's Jericho.
Yeah, we're
I
good.
can
We're good.
clearly see
We're
Monday
live!
Jericho.
Monday night, WCW Monday Jericho, like I said, this is legendary.
So,
I just, like,
so we'll,
I lost, like, the in-stream thing on here, so I'm just, like, I'm gonna have to play around a bit, because, like, it's, like...
So hold on. So then, would Jericho on
Okay, here we
AEW be
go, we're
considered
good.
as?
There we go. Well, maybe. Mother...
So would Jericho on Wednesday nights be Wednesday Night Bubbly?
Wednesday Night Bubbly. I'll go with that. Let me put this... we are
Chris
live, because,
Jericho,
like, the
if you've come
computer was,
across
like,
this,
going
make it a
haywire,
thing.
but thankfully the stream is going well. So...
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put this out there for some people that may not know.
Yep. I see Miss Ace 2500 and
Yes, our
Michelle.
number one
You're
and number
welcome.
two are in the house from the contest.
And congratulations, you won everything in Geek's room.
No, you didn't win everything in Geek's room.
Damn it.
You won some stuff. You won some cool stuff. You won good shit, pal.
You get to choose one item per wall.
No.
I'll take the belt.
No, you don't get the belt. You don't get the belt. You don't get the belt.
Can I have your Batman hat?
No, you can't have that either. I wore this Batman hat to WrestleMania last year.
I'll take the door handle. I
Last
actually
year?
need one.
Or 2 years ago. It feels like last year
How
because
did you
there's like...
sneak into the performance center?
It's weird because it's like it like I say last year because it's like you know
to think so many of the people we saw at Mania 35, now I think we kind of just lost a quarter of that roster, which we'll
we're
get
gonna
into
talk
later.
about that, yeah. But hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, and joined on the other end of the tin cannon string is Easy.
Happy Marks After Mania.
Marks After Mania.
Wait,
yes.
are we still? Wait, are we Marks or Maxes?
I think we're back to being Marks. We're not Maxes anymore.
Okay.
And Eric Wade is here.
Yep, what's up?
So if you've never seen the show before, this is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I met these two individuals at All In Starcast. We became friends there. We love wrestling. We love to talk about wrestling with other passionate wrestling fans like each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we are just fans. We avoid insider terms because our opinions are that of any other fan. We avoid insider terms because we haven't really earned the right to use those, because at the end of the day, we're not insiders, we're not wrestlers, we're just marks, but we also are the giver away of prizes. Now, they may have like set the bar too high to where like now, much like Christian's debut in AEW, like no matter how good at what you get here, you're not going to like it because they've told you you're going to get everything in the room, so I apologize for that. But much like Christian in AEW so far, I'm going to try and deliver with what I can give you. So, third prize was a gentleman by the name of Mo, and he got third, just barely. And he wins a comic book, so...
Mo Sislak.
Mo Sislak. Yeah, not Mo Sislak, no. I'd be really marking out if it were Mo Sislak.
Mo Stavin.
Mo, you have won Batman Shadow of the Bat number 56.
Nice.
Alright, so there's Mo's comic book for third place. Now it is time for Michelle, who I believe is hopefully still in the house.
Oh, no, she is.
Get her comic book. She's won second like the last two giveaways in a row, so...
And she's
Insider.
our favorite runner-up.
Michelle, the comic you have won is from IDW Publications. It is issue 1 of the miniseries I Can Sell You a Body. It's
Ooh.
about like robots and stuff. It's actually not a bad little series, and I had 2 issue 1s, so I put one in the giveaway bag. So hopefully you enjoy issue 1 to where you want to buy the rest of the issues. So
Can't wait for a movie about that.
I mean,
They have
hey,
already.
you know. So now we get
the
to.
title alone is like,
Yeah, especially with comic books, even the more obscure titles that you don't hear of are like the best ones.
Oh yeah, well, some like I'd say Jonah Hex. I was like as a nerd, I was very excited about Jonah Hex, and it just didn't pan out well for me. But all right,
And then of course everybody's undying hatred on the Death Note adaptation.
that's another debate for another day. Michelle, your figure
This is why I'm not into anime.
is. You got a legendary DDP WCW figure.
Oh, nice.
Classic.
Bang.
And bang. And I believe he does. You press the button on his back, he does this. It's not diamond cutter motion. It's just kind of this.
The
Did you
vibrating
bring
one?
that to StarCast to show DDP or no?
I did not. I have another DDP figure that's in my other room that is signed by DDP. It was like the first.
Okay.
It was like the first figure I ever bought, and it was like one of the only ones that like isn't like broken. So he ended up signing that for me, but he signed that for me at a convention before StarCast even. So
It's funny. All my life, I've actually never owned wrestling figures. It's just
Alright.
been either the WWE magazine or the trading cards and belts.
right. Oh, I played with the figure. I had so many wrestling figures. I would have like wrestling, like about like how there is now. I'd have wrestling every night. I'd have like the cross promotional, like okay, time to have The Rock versus Kevin Nash. I would have like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Goldberg. I would have Undertaker and Sting. I would have Ric Flair and like Triple H. You know, this was in 99, 2000, so this was before like all these things like happened. So, all right, Marcel. Let's see what figure you get.
I was always a nerd
She
with my
says she
figures.
wants the signed one.
They had to be. They had to be that.
Yeah, you don't get
promotion,
the signed
no
one.
cross promotion.
That one got me a high five, and not just a self high five from DP. Marcel, you have won a classic Shawn Michaels figure.
Nice.
This one is from
What a heartbreak.
1996. So this is it's heartbreaking for the rest of the people that play. They can't get this great figure anymore.
Same here, Mo. He said the second night
Is
of
that,
Mania
like,
killed him in the pit.
heel?
Yeah, Mo's in there. Mo, I don't know if you saw what comic book you won there, but you won this Batman Shadow of the Bat book. In case you weren't in the chat whenever I drew that prize. So, all right. So that's the figure for Miss Ace who won. Let's get his comic book.
Yeah, second night, that really fucked me up. I got 2 points for the whole night.
I think I strangely did
You
better
get a
on
reprint
night
of
2.
JLA #1, and I actually covered this book on my comic book series. So it's not the one that I covered. It's it's a reprint, but it's still a good book and still worth checking out. So there's that.
Michelle's asking the same thing that all of us are. Why do you have so many things?
What have so many things? Well, you know, I have
Collector,
stuff.
never
I'm a
stop
collector.
collecting.
I never stop collecting. All right, DVD time.
And it's all for sale on Mercari. Go ahead and check each page.
You'll be severely disappointed. Like on Big Bang Theory, when Raj got a handcrafted Harry Potter wand and got sent a stick. That's what's gonna happen if you buy any of my stuff from Eric's Mercari.
But hey, it would come with a certification of authenticity.
Limited edition, nice. All right, DVD is sticking with classics. You get a The Rock, Know Your Role.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so that's all right. So got that out of the way. Time for the come here, the T-shirt. the T-shirt is... What is this?
Logan Paul.
It is Vigilante Club from when Stephen Amell was in the Bullet Club.
Stephen Amell. Shit, I didn't know you had that.
Yeah. So that was from when Stephen Amell was in the Bullet Club.
I never understood that because A, I don't watch Arrow.
It's a good show. Or
But
it was a good
B,
show.
Amell did put up a good fight against Christopher Daniels.
Yes. I can't say, because as somebody that me and Eric both know, I can't say that was a better celebrity match, because even though I said that the Bad Bunny match wasn't that bad on Twitter, apparently not saying it was the greatest thing ever is apparently sacrilege in the wrestling world now, so I can't say that was a good match anymore.
Did you?
What's up?
Once you didn't go against the grain, did you? You went against popular opinion?
Yeah, I know, right? Can't do that.
God help you.
I still didn't care. It was on. That's all I can say. I acknowledge of his existence. I just don't acknowledge.
We'll talk more
the
about
results.
that in a second. And since you beat Eric, that was hard.
I know, what the fuck, man. WWE really did dirty on this one.
I look down. I need
Michelle,
to look
one day I'm gonna win a freaking shirt. You will see.
Have I ever won? Have I ever beat anybody?
No, I don't think you have. I think this has just kind of become an unofficial extra prize.
Have I become the Gilbert of this channel?
No, because you've won. I mean...
Yeah, hey, Michelle, I think you just put up a way better conspiracy promo than Sami Zayn ever did.
I've become the Al Snow of the geek universe.
You won a Lex Luger autographed picture. So, all right. You can, along with all the other stuff, you get an autograph from the All-American Lex Luger, and yeah, so definitely I'll find that a protector for you. And you also, of course, get back there.
What was that promo that Bobby Heenan? I think he said you're jealous at what you're looking at when Luger debuted.
Yeah, that was when he was the narcissist. This is from when he was. This has got the American flag. This is when he was made in the USA, Lex Luger. Big difference. And of course, Marcel, you also win the keychain, the Figures Toy Co. AJ Styles, and the Eric Bischoff book, Controversy Creates Cash. You get all that. You get all of that. So,
also, congrats to Bischoff on finally being in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, congrats to Bischoff there. So, next time,
I'm
just going to let you know now, the next contest we run will be for Double or Nothing, and, so, how in every contest, with the exception of the posters, because that's only still special if you beat Eric, but that's not hard. So, other than the poster, you know how, everybody, the winner gets a figure and a shirt and a DVD and a comic book? Well, since it's Double or Nothing, all the prizes will be doubled for the next one. That's right. Third place gets... No, not... Third place gets 2 comic books. Second place gets 2 comic books, 2 figures. And first place gets 2 comic books, 2 figures, 2 DVDs, 2 T-shirts, and, well, I got one other bonus prize, but I'm going to save that for the go-home show. There is one other bonus prize. And then, of course, beat Eric, you get the picture, or the poster, but, yeah. So...
And if I win, you get nothing.
You get nothing. You lose.
Good day, sir.
No prize for you.
Rest in peace, Gene Wilder.
Yeah. So,
God, I want to watch Blazing Saddles now.
So, yeah. Yeah, so be sure if you enjoyed and had fun, be sure to enter next time because it's double. Double or nothing. Or just double. Eric might get nothing, I don't know. But anyway, so let's talk Mania. That's
why
Apollo Crews and Ria is what got you first place. And
I don't think
but if I would have lived my dream and Daniel Bryan would have won, Michelle would have came in with the the last minute win, but it's all good. So WrestleMania, a tale of 2 nights, literally.
Night
literally.
1 was epic.
Yeah, night 1 was dare I say, best major show of the year so far. Like, no, like
minus the delay.
minus the delay, but I'm saying, like, as far as, like, it's very interesting. It's something I was talking with, my friend who was over to watch the show with me. And it's like, there was no, like, match of the year candidate per se on night one. I mean, there were some very good matches, but, like, I don't think there's any that kind of lived up to, Walter and, Ciampa or, Rosa and Britt, which are kind of like my number one and number two from here. Now, there's nothing that lived up to beating out one of those matches, but they were all consistently, like, all very good, with the exception of maybe, like, the clusterfuck Women's Battle Royal, which wasn't bad, but it's just kind of a clusterfuck. So, I feel like the show...
Braun and Shane didn't do it for you?
What's that?
Match of the year. Braun and Shane didn't do it for you? Match of the
Braun
year?
and Shane didn't do it for me, like... And that was another... I think that might be, that was another dud, but, like, everything else was just very, very good, like... The only problem I think that kind of killed the crowds, I think they were all expecting to really get excited with Drew winning the title back, and when he didn't, there's kind of this whole, like, there was a little bit of a, what happened? Like, we wanted to see Drew win. There's kind of that, like, there's kind of that, like, lull feeling, but other than that,
it was a great match, and then, Lashley winning, it's like, whoa, that was
I mean, like, I'm on board with it. I think it's great that they're giving Lashley a better run. I mean, like,
it was bold.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be surprised if they're going to run with an angle with, McIntyre saying, I never tapped out, so I want a rematch at WrestleMania Backlash. Which, seriously, WrestleMania Backlash, we could just say Backlash.
Okay. In your house, WrestleMania! No way out of WrestleMania! Bad Blood WrestleMania! Let's just put WrestleMania on everything from now on. It is SummerSlam WrestleMania! It is
like
Fatal 4-Way WrestleMania! It is
like
Saudi Arabia's greatest WrestleMania.
Don't fucking
tempt
them.
No, please,
that will happen.
No.
The fact that they're actually putting...
We know that's
the fact that they're putting the greatest Royal Rumble stats with the actual Royal Rumble now shows that they may have the greatest WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia and be like, oh, geez, wouldn't you know it? I can't believe that fucking Triple H won another title at WrestleMania. I can't believe he made it another WrestleMania, you guys.
Not to sound really bad, but imagine if the theme song for like the WrestleMania Saudi Arabia will be Arabian Nights.
That would be bad.
I know. That was bad. I was like, but they would do that.
Oh yeah, I could see them totally doing that.
They would do that. Especially when we get tonight too, you'll know what we're talking about.
But still, like, I feel like the show really picked up with Rollins and Cesaro.
That was an interesting match.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a good win for Cesaro. I kind of like, from my own perspective, it felt very cathartic to the person that got publicly said that he didn't have what it takes by Vince McMahon beating I like Seth Rollins overall, but beating like the number one corporate ass kisser of the WWE. So like that was very cathartic experience for me. But still, it was like it was a good match all around, and it wasn't just give Rollins credit too. He helped put the match together. This is bugging me. I gotta make sure this is protected. I'm just that's the collector in me. I need to find a bigger box. I don't want anything to happen to his prize, so like I'm sitting here like getting bugged.
Yeah, I agree. The match itself was okay, but I didn't think Cesaro was gonna win, but he did win and it felt right, so it was fine. But, yeah, the match itself was pretty good, just like nothing.
Yeah, like again, nothing like match of the year worthy. But it was still like match of the night worthy. Definitely. There we go. Now we got one.
I would add that to my like match of the year candidate because I thought like that was insane.
Well, this was my prediction was.
We're just talking about WrestleMania right now, though.
I was talking Mania, Bianca Belair, Banks. That was the main event of night one?
I mean, like, I can see why it would be in there, but, like, to me, it's not as good as, I mean, it was good, really good, but it wasn't, like, on the top two that I mentioned's level.
Well,
Like,
this one was the feel-good win. This one was the feel-good moment. I thought Belair would have had the feel-good moment for the weekend, but Cesaro
Definitely.
winning, the crowd gave him all the love and support, and then that was cool too because Cesaro deserves it. But yeah, I definitely thought Belair was going to have that spot, but she won.
I could still like hear and just feel the cringe of that hair whip. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was bad. But, like, it was really.
How is that not a how? She might as well just hit her in the head with the chair. Like, how is that not a DQ by whipping someone so hard that they have a huge fucking welt on their rib? Like,
I could never understand that. I think I remember like she was using that hair whip when I went to NXT Takeover Phoenix, and she did that on Shayna Baszler.
Like, I'm not using a weapon. I'm just using my hair, but it's like that's still you weaponized it. I'm gonna grow my nails really long and start scratching people. I'm not using a weapon. That's just my nail.
But going back to like that, like if the year ended today and we had to do like that, our year-end stream tonight, then sure it would be in my top 10. But I don't know if I would. It's not one where I'm like absolutely certain it's going to be in my top 10 by the end of the year, like the aforementioned 2 matches, if that makes sense. But it was still a really good match, and it was still, never really was quite sold on Bianca Belair until that night. So, really liked that match, and hats off to Sasha too. I'm also not a big Sasha fan, but they.
I wasn't aware.
I'm still not a big Sasha fan, but I will say it was a good match. I'm not a complete player hater or a complete jaded person like some other people we know, but yeah, like it was a good match. Definitely.
I wasn't aware that this was her 6th Mania loss on a
I know. Like that. I saw the. There's a meme floating around of
the meme going around.
Sasha Banks photoshopped on Undertaker's body with instead of like however many it says 0-6 floating around.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't know. I was like, dang, they're doing Sasha pretty dirty, but good for her for being a team player.
Yeah, and hey, she got a main event, which is more than what a lot of people can say. So.
All right.
The other match that really to me didn't go anywhere was AJ Styles and Amos versus the New Day. Whatever.
Yeah, I called them winning, but I didn't think they would win the belt.
Yeah, you won. Yeah, you got 1 point for the DQ, but like I'm happy for AJ getting a Grand Slam championship. Apparently, it said he's the first person to win Grand Slam titles in both WWE and TNA, so that's cool. But on the flip side, though, like, Omos Amos, he's still, like... I get they're really trying to make a big deal out of him, and he does, like, have the presence of a superstar, don't get me wrong. I'm not quite sold on him yet.
Yeah.
If this had been on AEW pay-per-view, everybody be bitching going, what the fuck are they doing putting somebody that green on pay-per-view? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good though.
So now it's come to where I have to admit I was wrong about this match. I will admit that I was wrong about this match. I don't know if somebody else will admit that they were wrong about this match, but I certainly will. Bad Bunny and
Hey hop hop.
Yeah. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison. Bad Bunny brought it. I mean, I have no interest in listening to his music or going to his concert, but Bad Bunny was great. He did a damn fine job. My only nitpick on that match was that Bad Bunny got the pin and not Priest, just because. I always I liked when we talk about Stephen Amell. I like how Pac or Neville at the time still got the win for the team instead of the celebrity. But overall, like Bad Bunny brought some good stuff. he was the hero in peril, and not, it wasn't building to a big hot tag to Bad Bunny. Like, no, Bad Bunny was the one that got his ass whipped during that portion of the match. Dude did great. I mean, so.
I mean, props to Morrison because he pretty much, like that Canadian Destroyer was basically Morrison just doing the foot by himself, and then Bunny just held on.
Right.
Like some of his offense, you can tell it was the wrestlers like having fun with him, but
right.
yeah, no, he definitely took it seriously and gave it respect and shit.
Yeah, so I mean, I gotta props to him for that. Just yeah.
Match was pretty good, but Miz and Morrison, please never do that stupid bunny entrance again. I almost confused
weird.
it for Adam
that was
Rose
creepy.
Buds.
They were all holding onto their helmet with one hand so it wouldn't fall off when they were jumping. It was just a weird visual. I was like, I felt like I was on drugs watching that. I was like, what?
I'll tell you right now, I took my dog
sheets?
outside because I'm kind of like, at the time I was thinking like, well, if there's gonna be a time to make sure your dog doesn't have an accident in the floor, it'd be this time. So I took the dog out, and then I come back in, I'm seeing this, and I'm like, what am I watching? What? So yeah.
Can we just please go back to the dirt sheets? Like,
how much longer?
Like John Morrison's weird entrance theme ain't no make believe, which I for the longest time
I still don't believe he's cool, Michelle. I still just I said he did a good match. I don't like his style of music, and
no.
The performance of the Royal Rumble did not sway me on that to make him like be in that like upper echelon of hip hop artists like that I listen to, like Run DMC or Coolio or Will Smith. Pretty much
Eminem.
I don't even really listen to Eminem.
Well, I do.
So there's me really showing my age with the only type of hip hop that I listen to. How much longer do you think Morrison's going to be made to look like a fool? Do you tell me? I don't know, because it's WWE, Mo. Like, I wish I could tell you that he's going to get a big singles run out of this, and, I wish I had the confidence, like, I appreciate how much he brought into that match. I appreciate he just wasn't there for the paycheck like other people. So that's one thing I'll always get Bad Bunny. But like but going back to Mo's question about Morrison, it's if this were AEW, where they have significantly more hits than misses. I mean, they've had some epic misses, but they've had, for the most part, more hits. And usually, if something's not going well for a wrestler, like, it usually turns around or goes somewhere. If WWE did their shows like that, I would be saying, like, well, I could see, like, a storyline coming out of this. But I don't. I just see Morrison just kind of being whatever. From wherever.
I can see that Morrison is probably happy with his role because he's probably... And he's a little bit older anyway and stuff, so he's probably just happy to be there getting a check and being on TV, getting a spotlight, whatever.
I think Morrison is probably honestly just he's getting his WWE money because he knows that he's got to save something because he doesn't have that many good years left in wrestling.
Yeah, and I saw him in the indie scene, like one of his last nights on the indies before he got re-signed to WWE. So he is still willing to put the time in and wrestle and stuff like that. But honestly, like if he wasn't paired up with the Miz too right now, he probably would have been one of the names released today too. Like I wouldn't see him getting much more.
Right.
Being paired with the Miz is a safe spot because the Miz is like royalty. They're not ever going to fuck with him really.
Right.
But that means that he's going to be in the Miz's shadow the entire time. And if he's happy doing that, collecting that check and stuff, then good for him. But I agree. I think he can have another run, or he has a run in him or whatever, but that's big. That's a big if, and that's a big. We all know WWE. They're barely pushing Cesaro.
He did look good. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of. I don't know. I wish I could have the confidence in that product that I do.
Right.
AEW. And you know what? There might come a time where I don't have the confidence in AEW. I'm just gonna to be objective. But yeah. Who is Maluma? Or in Daddy Yankee?
That's what I was reading. I was like,
okay, Daddy Yankee, he wrote the song Gasolina. I don't want to get us copyright strikes, but if you look it up, you'll recognize the song. It's been played everywhere in sports.
Okay. Well, I've already told you I watch like 3 sports, so maybe. All right, so now it's time to move on.
It's a guarantee you might have heard it at Cardinals games then.
Okay. So it's time to talk about night 2. I mean, we already kind of talked about night 1. Finally sold on Bianca Belair. Still not a Sasha Banks fan, but hey, damn fine match. And great way to end night 1.
What a way to open, by the way, night 2. Because
yeah, so this high, with a great feel-good moment, with me coming around on Bianca Belair, with this fantastic moment that resonates with so many people. Now it's time for some shit. You ready for some
Night
shit?
2 says, well, screw you.
Yeah.
We're only going to give you one feel-good moment. Pick it.
My gosh, man. The match everyone waited for, the match everyone was hyped for. Even I'm not that big of a Fiend fan, but I was like, oh shit, the Fiend's going to kick Randy Orton's ass.
What the hell are they going to do?
I was first just wondering, like, do we really need the red lights for this match? Because I was like, can we just have regular lights?
Well, I was willing to let that slide, but holy shit.
The Fiend has had matches where he didn't need those red lights.
I know.
Balor.
I was willing to let that slide only because he's and maybe if they just did this the only time in his career, it makes sense because he's recreated himself or reincarnated. Like it's supposed to be like kind of a horror whatever.
Right.
If it was a horror match though, but it was just a regular boring contest.
That wasn't even a contest. That was like a bunch of boring stuff, and then someone cursed Alexa Bliss with the same thing that made the Ultimate Warrior bleed fucking motor oil back in the Papa Shango feud, and then the Fiend lost, and it was over.
One RKO.
What? Yeah, what freaking RKO? It's like, what?
And he by the way, he no-sold every move up to that point too. So one RKO.
I thought that was the point of his character, though, because obviously, he's
that's what I'm saying. It's like he no-sold everything else, but then one RKO is like, oh my god, I am vanquished. Like,
what? And that's opening the show. So after that, it's always like, oh man, like you could hear the WWE universe just putting their palm in their face at that moment, just like, we're in for a long match.
I agree. Brady's tribute to Brody was the only thing worth salvaging in that match, but I mean, like, and the way they did the build, like the way they did the engines, like I was hyped, and I like the Fiend. I don't like Orton in the slightest, but I'm like, okay, let's go. They're gonna make this like the Firefly Funhouse. What kind of cool shit are they gonna do? Oh, someone dumped a bunch of ink on Alexa Bliss, and
I will.
That.
Okay, then
it looked
I like the commentary.
Impressive.
She's on top of a box-like structure. What's that box-like structure? I think it's just a jack-in-a-box.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is how I would have. I would have obviously have it longer, but I would have had it the other way around. Fiend wins, and then he sees Alexa has turned somebody else, and it's like, wait, what are you doing? Who are you? What's going on? And then, I don't know. Cut to commercial, or have somebody attack Bray or Fiend, whatever, same guy. Honestly, and I saw one tweet that I thought, what if Aleister Black had come out and actually taken out the Fiend after the match?
That's what I was gonna say too. Is every time people get excited about the Fiend and stuff, I always remind myself
right about the Fiend in the chat.
It's Bray Wyatt underneath that mask, right? You remember what is Bray Wyatt? They don't like Bray Wyatt.
Oh yeah, it's like saying Mick Foley instead of Mankind, because it's like, right.
Yeah, so we go from that to... I got a new iPad, and I just want to scroll down the bottom when I go off there. We go to the Women's Tag Team Championship match, which, again, nobody that entered... These first 2 matches, nobody got points for. No one picked Randy Orton, and no one picked Baszler and Jax to retain. So,
I picked them. I don't know.
Well, no one picked. Did anyone
maybe
predict?
One person did. I can't remember, but I know nobody picked the fucking Randy Orton.
Well, but that one was kind of set up to lose anyway because nobody picked Natty and Tamina, right?
One person did. I think our number one, Miss Ace, did, but I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say
I don't remember.
that one.
Like, I'll have to go back and recheck. But I know, like, there's one where I'm like, no, we got one. You know, like when filling it out. Like,
that tag match, it wasn't that bad. And also, it wasn't good. It was just like, it was good.
It was a spot.
Oh, Mo said he had to.
It was in the middle.
Yeah, okay.
But seriously though, okay, Natty and Tamina, if you're ever going to give Tamina a WrestleMania moment, give her the fucking belt during this win, and then she could lose it on Raw the next night. Tamina's never going to get shit. Natty's never going to get shit.
I would have been okay
with
the
fact that they're still letting Baszler and Jax be a team, even though they're like infighting and even though their storylines all weird and stuff.
Right.
I don't know why they're trying to make them the most dominant.
I would have been okay with that. I mean, hell, we were supposed to be okay with Zack Ryder having the best WrestleMania moment of his life and then could get completely fucked over the next night.
Yeah, then just lose it the next night.
Yeah,
they do it all the time, so it's fine. But like,
look,
literally, to me, like letting her, or just letting her get that far, but not like it's like going to Disneyland, but not going inside the park. It's like, why would you do that? Like, just that poor girl.
I'm not against the WWE having the women's tag belts, but it's just like, how do you expect that division to be written well when they can't do any tag team wrestling well? You know, the talent pool is much smaller on the women's side of things, so it's going to be even harder to come up with good tag teams. And hell, their best one, they just fucking released today. Well, no, they split them up, and then they released them.
And then they released them.
Yeah, so...
Oh, I'm saving my anger for the very end.
You know, there's like...
No, they split them up, paired them with different people, then released them.
So it's like... So the one tag team that was actually, like, really good, you know, that wasn't just thrown together, like...
Do you mean that they were iconic?
Shayna's a badass, but they won't put women title on. Shayna could, like, literally, her and Ria Ripley, they passed the boat, or they missed the boat what WWE did by booking them to lose these last couple of years, because right now they could have been huge names and like money draws, but since they're so, I don't understand why they can't build new people. It's so easy, and they have the people to do it. But they could have pulled the trigger years ago, and right now they would have had huge names going for the belts and stuff. And Baszler definitely could be one of them.
Right.
But
yeah, so we go on from that, and but yeah, just kind of like if they can't book the men's tag team division with a significantly larger pool of talent and a significantly larger set of established tag teams, how can they do that with the women? How can they make the women's tag division worthwhile with that much smaller of a roster of people to work with? Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But it's still like, at least they have it. At least, yeah.
But if all the tag teams do, Natty and Tamina make sense because their dads were legacy people and they have like family names or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's that'd be a good tag team. I'd be into it.
That was pretty cool.
Amazing.
So next we get to Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn with Logan Paul. We had to waste about 10 minutes for fucking Logan Paul's entrance. This was a good match. It was not. It was not. It was a good match. It was not the Ring of Honor match that I saw in person back in 2010, but it was good.
I think ironically, Ring of Honor uploaded their ladder match.
That was another
between
good one.
Owens and El Generico.
Yeah.
That was the one you were at? Okay.
No, I wasn't at that one. I was at one. Mind. This one went to like a non-finish because El Generico, who's not Sami Zayn but wrestles move for move like Sami Zayn, El Generico retired to run an orphanage in Tijuana. Jumped like off the scaffolding onto Kevin Owens, and the match just kind of ended. It was Kevin Steen at the time.
Oh wow.
So like yeah, I'm glad Logan Paul got booed. I'm glad Logan Paul got stunned. I'm hoping we can just
they try to pipe in the noise.
I love the fact that WWE, they were trying to edit out the crowd. It's like, you know for a fact Logan Paul is a piece of shit. His brother is a bigger piece of shit. Both of them have been accused of like sexual assault on their team 10 or members, whatever. And especially Jake Paul right now, he's under a sexual assault. Okay, not really investigation, but allegations from another YouTuber by Justine Paradise, who she's actually a pretty awesome person. But it's like, WWE, why did we need Logan Paul to begin
it's
with?
funny, just to answer Mo, like, yeah, the sad thing about WWE is the women's division was the best thing, but now it's going down. Ironically, now that the AEW women's division is starting to come up, so, yeah, fuck them both. Fuck them both. Okay, let's put it. Yay, Sammy and Kevin for getting to have like their dream match against one another at WrestleMania. Boo on Logan Paul.
Wish it was a championship match though, but still.
Yeah, fuck Logan Paul.
And
we talked no more about Logan Paul. I didn't know who he was till last week, and then I found out who he was, and fuck the guy.
Oh no, but him getting stunned though, I could watch that on a repeat loop and just feel like I'm at Nirvana, just at peace. Just everything.
No, from what I've heard about Logan Paul, like a worked stunner is too good for him. Why
told you.
Why couldn't you have pop a power bomb though?
But
I'm saying why couldn't they have just had I don't know, maybe Brock Lesnar come out and fight him for real.
But the thing is,
okay, wait.
You want to be a boxer? Well, here's Brock Lesnar.
Hold up. I feel like I'm going to go to Wrestling Hell for this. WrestleMania next year. Brock Lesnar versus Jake Paul, please. I just want to watch Brock Lesnar kick the crap out of him.
Well, but like I'm saying, like with Bad Bunny,
Hell for that. But
even
Brock
if we're
Lesnar,
not,
Jake Paul, please.
Even if we're not seeing the big picture or whatever, they're still bringing you fans. Because I have a coworker that I was telling on last Friday. Oh yeah, it's WrestleMania weekend, and I was explaining to him or whatever, seeing if he was into it. But he doesn't watch wrestling at all, but he watches boxing. And so when I mentioned Logan Paul, suddenly he perked up a little bit and was like, "Oh yeah, I know Logan Paul because he's a boxer, whatever." And he was saying like,
"Fuck their boxing career too." Like seriously.
Well, but that's the thing is in the boxing world right now, they're known as like green. They're like super green, and they're kind of known as like guys who they're not coming from professionally trained boxing schools. They're just getting into it, whatever. Mm-hmm. But my coworker knew who that was, so he even, like I'm saying, it's bringing you eyeball, and if it doesn't work in our direct eyes, it is working on some point.
Okay, but
people out there are going, Logan Paul's going to be on WrestleMania. I'll check in, even if they only watch that one match. You know what I mean?
Okay, Logan Paul nearly got banned from YouTube after he was in Japan filming that forest that's known for suicide victims, and he actually filmed a dead body. It's like, dude, like, do you have standards?
Hey, okay, fuck Logan Paul. Can we move on? Because I don't want to talk about Logan Paul anymore.
Okay, we're done. Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody.
So,
but it's not gonna end at Bad Bunny. It's not gonna end at Logan Paul.
No, it's not.
They're gonna keep on bringing in celebrities, right. And even if me and you and Easy are like, who the hell is this person, or what the hell is this? What is this about? Right. There's some kid who's gonna go, oh, I want to watch now.
WWE does not book wrestling for people like the three of us. I will concede that point. Right. Seamus versus Riddle, or Riddle somebody else. Fuck Matt Riddle. He sucks. I'll say it like there. He's probably one of my least favorite wrestlers in the world right now. Like,
yeah, I thought he was gonna win, but yeah, fuck him. I agree.
Fuck him. Like after that match, like he sucks. He can't. I don't get into stoner humor. Like, other than like Jane Silent Bob, I don't get into like, dude, I'm so stoned, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, bro. He sucks. He's done nothing in the ring to fucking impress me, and I'm not into his fucking character. I don't give a fuck about Matt Riddle. Fuck him.
And the fact that he came and delivered his lines properly.
Well, same what Mo said. WWE is just trying anything to save their failing ratings by bringing any celebrity, and yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's not going to stop with these two for Mania. But just hopefully whoever's next is someone I at least heard of a little bit. Yeah. Like,
but I was happy to see Riddle lose, even though he sucks. So now it's time to something that was really terrible.
Also, before we get to that, Seamus's bro kick in midair, that was impressive.
Okay, that was cool. I don't want to talk about Matt Riddle because he sucks.
Yeah. Now we can get to the what the fuck were we watching?
So you know how the main event the night before was like really nice and really awesome moment that represented, so many people that previously weren't represented, and we thought, wow, that's great. How about a big old dose of racism for the first time that fucking Vince just saw Black Panther? That's what it felt like. What the fuck was this? Why did you just let him wrestle?
This is how completely out of touch I've been with SmackDown. This was the first time I heard Apollo Crews' accent. Like, wait, what the hell is that?
What is this? And also, I mean, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm like the most cultural person in the world, but I didn't know that gongs were in Nigeria.
Honestly, I'm actually sad we only had one gong shot in the whole match. Like, oh, come on. It wasn't even a good one.
I don't get this.
Awesome.
Like this to me, like this is like Vince saw Black Panther and went, "I love it. We're gonna make him Wakanda."
No, he
saw Chadwick
Boseman. Not a real country.
He was on a flight, and the person in the row next to him was watching Panther, and he caught a glimpse of it and was like, "Oh, that's good shit."
No, he saw the scene of like Chadwick Boseman and Michael Jordan fighting in the.
He saw the trailer. Thing. He caught the trailer of it and was like, "That's some good shit."
Right. Yeah. My friends.
Yeah, gongs, kendo sticks, drums.
And then some random Nigerian prince that I think people forgot to pay him $5 million to save his yacht.
I had no idea who that was. Dava Kato. Who the hell is
that? Someone always thought that was somebody for Retribution, but
that's what I thought. I thought that was the big guy from Retribution.
But you know what the sad part is about this whole match? They added all these smoke and mirrors, but you know what? The part that breaks my heart the most is Big E and Apollo Crews could have had a show-stealing match without all the fucking stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
There's like, I have Nigerian background. Good for you. I have Eastern European background, but you don't hear me coming every time on this show with very bad accents. It's like, are we just going to go with when Lana was Russian and now she's American?
Yeah, but Kofi, he used to be Jamaican and now he's English. They always do this stuff.
Okay,
right.
I low-key miss Kofi's Jamaican. I know it's not Jamaican, but it's like I low-key miss it.
All right, so we got to move on. We got a shit ton of other stuff to talk about. Asuka versus Ria Ripley, match of the night.
Yes.
Happy for Rhea.
Although that was probably the
I was a little sad because I am an Asuka fan, but Rhea getting her time to shine. She stole the show last year, at least other than the
isn't it ironic
cinematic matches, but did a good job this year. Love the match. Best match on.
Isn't it ironic she not only has lost the SmackDown Championship at 34, she's now lost the Raw Women's title at 37.
Yes. So now we go to the main event, which was also a great match, except for the fact that I was sad because D-Bry's in my fave 5, dog. I love Daniel Bryan. He's probably my second favorite wrestler of all time, second or third. Really thought he was going to win, but Roman wins. At least I'm supposed to be upset that Roman wins because he's bad now. It was very deflating, very emotionally deflating feeling at the end of that match. But I also, I could see, I mentioned this, I said Vince at the end of that match was going, ha ha, got you now, bitches. Your fucking vanilla midget ain't winning this one, you fuckers.
And Roman finally did the one smart thing you do in a triple threat match, pin both guys.
Oh, this was like a state like this. Since it was a no DQ match, like I could see like this ending. And now I will give it a little bit of credit. You're supposed to be angry at Roman Reigns. He's not a good person. He's bad. I'm so tired of the trope of every freaking bad guy has to. Well, we gotta be nice, or we gotta do something that's really really cool and funny so we can sell our T-shirts. And Roman ain't like that, so I love it. But I could also tell that was like Vince kind of giving his middle finger, going like, Hey, all you fucking people that like Edge and Bryan, all you people that want to see them, they both suck. They both suck because of Roman. Like, that was Vince. I could see him just laughing like, I sure showed them that fucking hijacked my Batista Randy Orton main event 7 years ago.
Yeah, but people still don't like Roman though, so it's not. Vince is laughing to himself.
At least this time I will give it a little bit of credit. At least if Roman had been on the good side of things and done that, holy shit! I think we'd really see an issue. But since he's on the bad side of things, we're supposed to see it that way.
This would have been WrestleMania 32 level of heat.
Yes.
But I didn't see it like that necessarily. Like they're saying big F you to Indy Scene or Brian or whatever. I don't think Brian necessarily needed to be in this match.
No.
But he elevated it. It was him that made it great. Especially that spot with the double.
Again, it was all because he was upset with Edge at Elimination Chamber.
Again, I'm okay because I want to see Edge and Brian in just a blood feud after this. It'd be perfect. But
we'll see them at WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, I kind of would have been pissed if Edge would have won, to be honest. Because I'd be like, what's the point?
Edge was like. Yeah, nobody wanted. Edge was just. You don't want Edge to win that one. But I think that I'm okay with Roman winning. I'm just a Bryan fan. Had that been fucking I'm trying to think of somebody else I like, but don't love Daniel Bryan. Had that been Adam Cole, I've been like, damn, that sucked. Kind of what Adam Cole went. Oh well, but because it's Bryan, that's why I'm like, fuck, damn it. Time to drink more wine like I did last night.
Yeah. But also, I was watching this with my brother, too, and he said the same thing, well, wait, didn't Edge pin him? And I was all... I said Raw, but I guess we can still see what happens tomorrow. I was like, yeah, it'll probably be a storyline now. He'll come out and be like, I was the one who pinned his shoulders, and then, and then rematch or whatever. But I was like, yeah, we'll see where this goes. But even he noticed it, where he's like, didn't Edge have him?
Unfortunately, for the sake of the contest, I can't switch the results if Edge wins. Sorry.
It's to send your prizes back.
Yeah. And actually, I think Miss Ace even had Edge winning, so you would just it would just be like padding his stats if Edge ends up winning.
We have to recall the prizes and burn them.
Gotta recall.
Recall and destroy them since it's COVID.
Yeah, send them back, or you're not in the Double or Nothing contest.
Yeah, send them back. My bad. All right, so that was WrestleMania.
So out of 10, how would you rate it? Because I'm going with a 6.25.
Night 2 or
honestly.
all together?
All together, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. I'd give it about what I gave Double or Nothing, and it was because maybe a little bit higher than I'd give Double or Nothing. Or not Double or Nothing.
But remember also too, I haven't talked to my brother-in-law yet, and Dirty was there, and they were saying some of the matches that were like, oh, that was just okay. They were even saying but the crowd was super into it. So I wonder if that's kind of because this is the first time the crowd.
Because this was our first crowd in a year. And a month,
but I wonder how, because I'm kind of at the same level too. I'm pretty much at a 6, maybe a 6.5, or maybe a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I'm going with a 6.25.
I would say it was at a damn 8 or 9 after night 1,
6.
and then night 2 just brought it down that much.
Brought it down. I agree. Yeah.
So
I think 6 is perfect, but I wonder
if night 2 would have kept the momentum up. At least on my end,
maybe if this was reversed, we probably would have had a higher rating.
Yes and no, because I think we would have still been on here going man, night 1 sucked. Hey, good thing night 2 saved it. Really made a saving grace. I'd given it a higher rating, but maybe like a half higher. But
that's what my brother said. He goes, Isn't Randy Orton and the Fiend supposed to be a big deal? And I was like, yeah, I guess. Whatever.
Supposed to be.
He goes, how come they're having the first match? And I was like, oh, because they're trying to phrase it as it's an honor to have the first match back on the night for the fans, with tennis or whatever. So he's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then when Bray Wyatt lost or the Fiend lost, whatever, my brother was like, wasn't he supposed to be I was just like, yeah, dude, I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Mo just brought up, we forgot to mention the Botchamania thanks to the storm on night 1 that Mandy slipped on the ramp.
Yeah.
I felt bad for her, but I mean...
really? We couldn't clean it? We couldn't clean the ramp?
And then Seth Rollins, so his entrance, 3 of the fire poles were out.
So we got to get to Dynamite. Because we still got Dynamite.
And they announced the wrong winner. They announced the wrong guy. One of Riot Squad has been eliminated, and they won. I was like, wait, what?
Right.
Or the shit.
Yeah.
So Dynamite.
Correction.
Dynamite.
AEW Tag Team Championship to start the match out, because I know we already were talking about this last night before this even began. Young Bucks defeated Death Triangle to retain the titles. I really like this match, but I'm kind of... We had this discussion last night. Bucks need to do a little bit more to reinvent themselves other than going from tassels to bell bottoms. I agree.
Yep.
Like
silver.
So they have silver bell bottoms, so now they're supposed to be bad guys now.
So I didn't get it. I was like, what the...
Like, the way they wrestled the match was a little different, and I kind of could buy into it, especially the end, where I literally went, oh, fuck you, after they ripped Phoenix's mask off, but, like...
Yeah. He looks like Brandon Cutler when his mask was on. Is that really just Brandon Cutler under there? It's not.
It's not. Just saying. But, like, so they got... a little bit of the bad guy work down, but to me it's like they made such a big deal on BT, like, we're going to change up their look. They're not going to care about the fans. It's like... So bell bottoms mean... So I'm just announcing this to the world now. Bell bottoms equals hatred of your fans. So
now we're wearing
so Bad Bunny at his concert wears bell bottoms. He does not give a shit about his fans.
Yeah. No, I agree. I was like, that was the first thing I noticed. I was like, wait a minute, what? Like they literally didn't really change anything. And what I mentioned in the group chat, whatever, is just by hearing old interviews with Triple H and stuff. When he was saying he was going to reinvent his character and he wanted to be taken more seriously as like a main event player or more vicious or whatever, he went from pants to trunks. And then when that was working in his favor, but it wasn't as intimidating as a look as he wanted, then he even shaved his head, and that was the shaved head look and stuff, which all worked. Like it all added a layer to his character or whatever. And I'm not saying the Bucks need to go that route, but do something different than just going from frills to bell bottoms. It's like that's not enough. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. So like I like that they're going in this direction. Like we're essentially getting the 2016 Elite back, which is great. And
just without the guy carrying the umbrella, but that's another story.
Okay. But yeah, like I felt like, they made like such a big deal about their attire, and that's just like, again, it's just one of those, like, this is a problem to me that AEW has right now. It's like they make something seem like it's gonna be this really big deal, and it's like, what was that?
It was there, but it was also not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, I really liked the match.
Good match.
The ending was great, with trying to especially establish them as bad guys, but yeah, just kind of.
Yeah, they look like a 2000s boy band. They pretty much that's all silver and shiny, and it was like, what the heck? If you're bad guy, shouldn't you just be wearing solid black or like?
Yeah, I was saying like I would have liked if they just went in short tights.
Yeah.
Like short tights or something like that, or just like,
I like the fact
some of their fly. Like, I mean, I know like it's obnoxious, but like it's still flashy, But next match.
I like the fact they got the Ring of Honor confetti. It's like, okay, that was awesome.
Next match is Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill. I enjoyed this match. It didn't take me as long to get sold on Jade as it did Bianca Belair. I'm definitely seeing the upside in Jade Cargill right away. Like she's still got like a little bit more to go, but she's doing great. Like that was a great match. I was kind of pulling for Red Velvet, but because I like her too. But Jade, she's gonna be the face of that division in a year or two, no question.
Yeah, she's pretty good. That was a good match. It was a good match, but they're kind of not doing Red Velvet any favors. The promo that she put on for this was, yeah, you beat me, but you barely got the job done. So,
oh no, we're gonna talk about finishing moves that don't end matches a little bit later on here when it comes to AEW.
Oh jeez. But yeah, they're hopefully Red Velvet can recover or whatever. But so far they're not doing her any favors.
Yeah. Next match, well, basically it was a squash. Anthony Ogogo versus Cole Carter. I mean, it's squash. I kind of like how, like, since Ogogo is, and that is a very unfortunate last name to have, because I feel like I'm gonna be like, here's Anthony's boxing and wrestling Ogogo.
So wake me up before you a go.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, there's gonna be endless puns. But, like, I like how they're, like, using his boxing background to where, like, oh, hey, when he, like, punches you, like, punches you there, it's gonna hurt worse because he's a professional boxer. So it's like, okay, like, I like how they're using that. But it was
hopefully
just
they don't do the WWE thing and give him a finishing move that rhymes with his last name. Because like, I just remember when Dan O'Brien was facing Drew Gulak.
The KO go.
That's all Michael Cole was saying. Drew Gulak with the offense. Drew Gulak with the dropkick. Drew Gulak. Now Drew Gulak is locked in the Drew Gulak. It's like, dude, can you stop saying Gulak for 1 second, please? I want to blow my brains out. The Gulag? Like,
I thought it was a good debut. I feel like, again, like, because of the nature of the match, it's still like, I still don't exactly know what he's capable of yet. So I'm not gonna say, like, yes, I'm on the Anthony Ogogo bandwagon, because, like, just seeing that match, like, it's hard. It's hard to really, like, it's a good showcase, but it's hard to really get an idea on, like, where a person's ability is. But I want to see more, so I guess that is the one good thing. Next match is Jericho versus Dax Harwood.
This was good.
It was good. It's good, not great. I like how they used to.
I like how they knock out Cash. That was awesome.
Yeah. I like the how they use Mike Tyson. But like it was like a good TV match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
they got the same thing here. Dash is a tag team guy or whatever. It was a fine match for him for a single or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but it was a good one. Like, I saw, like, again, I'm kind of quoting. I shouldn't go to Reddit before I start live streaming, but, like, there's so many people on Reddit, like, acting like this match and the opening match are, like, the best things ever. I'm like, dude, they're not, like, none of them were better than either one of the main events of Mania. Neither one of them. You know what I mean?
Well, it was fine, but I don't need to see Inner Circle versus or Inner Circle especially beating Pinnacle every week at this point.
Well, hang on. Now,
if they're going to be doing Blood and Guts soon, these two groups could be doing that instead of whatever. Like wait for it. Don't just give it away.
Yeah, but
because Jericho versus I would rather see Jericho versus MJF, not Jericho versus Dash Wilder.
Hold on. Jericho versus MJF is something that you can put on pay-per-view that people will pay money for, especially now that they've put more.
But just wait for it. Like, don't give it away on TV.
I said Dax. I'm thinking, like, how about, like, Spears? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Use this as an opportunity to get Spears, even not Jericho. Spears hasn't had a good match. And
Spears versus Hager, not Jericho.
Something like that. I'm saying no. Give Spears versus Jericho, but just like fucking showcase Spears. He hasn't had a match, really a good match in AEW since he wrestled Cody at All Out 2019. Like, he hasn't really been really featured or showcased well and done anything where you're like, damn, that's good. Put Spears in this role instead of like a noted tag team wrestler, and then maybe like, oh hey, you know what, Sean Spears. He fucking broke out. That's some good shit there. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with that, but I don't think... I just think that this was kind of a match that was, mismatched and just kind of like...
I disagree. I think the tag match was good, not great. It wasn't... definitely not as good as, like... Definitely not as good as either one of the main events from WrestleMania, or Cesaro and Seth,
honestly, I would have
Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, or it's just
personally,
it's not
I
Braun and Shane.
Yeah, Braun and Shane, man, fucking that shit.
I still would have preferred if it was Jericho Guevara versus FTR.
That'd have been good too. Yeah.
Yeah. A singles match, like, I really couldn't get behind.
Well, hold on. Now, if you did Jericho and Guevara versus FTR, FTR would have to win, and they probably wanted to earn Inner Circle to get the win tonight with Tyson. And
Who are you guys, Vince McMahon? Stop trying to break up Sammy Hagar. It should be Sammy Hagar versus
Hagar. Yeah, that shit's true.
Stop trying to break up the best tag team in AEW, please.
Yeah. So moving on, but I think if they would have went with that, you had to have the Inner Circle win because of Tyson. So I didn't really want to. I don't want to see FTR take another big loss, especially from a team that's definitely not as established as them. But I mean, it wasn't.
I don't need to see the Pinnacle lose again either. Like FTR losing is one thing too, but the Pinnacle means the top of the top, or whatever. And here we go losing it.
If the Pinnacle wins Blood and Guts, I feel like it'll all be worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
And
like,
then
instead
that
of
can
having
set up
Inner
Jericho
Circle versus Pinnacle week after week on free TV, save it for the pay-per-view, save it for the big match, save it for later, and have the Pinnacle versus H2, was it the Hybrid 2, or have just jobber teams or whatever, instead of just giving it away for free on TV. Although it was a great match, or although it was good, or although whatever, I'm kind of with you where I was like, yeah, it was good, but like, what was the big? Why is everyone saying this is like the biggest whatever?
Yeah,
I didn't get that from watching it, but
next match,
I did like
Chris Statlander versus Amber Nova. Glad to see Chris Statlander back. Just kind of standard match, but good. Really glad Chris Statlander's back.
I still can't believe they're using the Pixies as an entrance theme, though. It's like, oh, come on.
I'm just not a fan of it.
The Pixies fits Chris Statlander better than it fits Orange Cassidy, though. I like Orange Cassidy's other thing.
I think for Cassidy, Statlander, yes. Best friends, no.
Right.
Yeah.
So the main event, and here's where I kind of mentioned to Mo that I'm going to talk about everybody kicking out of finishers, is the main event. Now, this was not a bad match. It was a Falls Count Anywhere match, TNT Championship. Matt Hardy versus Darby. I love Darby Allin, but this is kind of one where I'm like, they kicked out of a little too much, and a few too many Twist of Fates and finishing moves got kicked out of. And I'm not no fucking Bully Ray or no fucking Jim Cornette, but I do think there is a point in time where enough is enough, and that took away from the match for me. Not saying it was bad, but I'm saying like this was, I'd give this match like on a gonna do the Meltzer 5-star ratings. Like I'd give this match like 3 stars. And if they would have had a little bit less of the kicking out of the finishers and stuff like that.
And maybe nobody interfering in the match.
Yeah, and stop, or maybe just had one bout of interference, instead of like 1,000 run-ins, like, oh shit, there's Matt Hardy's people. And then Sting chased them away, and then it's over. Or even better,
and then we had Dark Order.
Yeah, Dark Order for no fucking reason? I guess
because right? No, because Ty Conte is fighting with the Bunny, which is Matt Hardy's team.
You're really stretching for a reason for the Dark Order to get involved. Dark Order has no reason to help Darby Allin like Sting does, but not the Dark Horse. Like I felt like this was kind of like
really Sting with a bat would be better than all members of Dark Order.
Like, and I'm a Dark Order fan. Just kind of like it was. See, I don't like 12 storylines going on at one time. I feel like that's overkill, and they need to make more time for the other storylines instead of going, hey, here's the main event. Throw a bunch of shit against the wall. Like, they really need to work on their pacing a little bit. Like, it's I don't know. The main event was good when it could have been great because they tried to do too much with it. So
yeah, I get Darby's coffin drop. That was
and that should have been like that was a great finish. I just didn't like how many Twists of Fates a guy got kicked out of.
Yeah, but that's exactly my reason for not liking NXT too. Is too many false finishes and stuff. Yeah. But I would agree with they kind of just went too many places with this. Mm-hmm. But that's not my gripe of like, oh, I have to kick out again, or because like you get that everywhere, so it's not you can't just cherry pick. But I will agree with like, it's kind of scattered all over the place. Maybe they could have narrowed it a little bit to make me more interested or make it mean more or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man. To me, this was like probably the worst match of the night, though, too. Just because I don't know why, but just watching it, I'm not really buying Darby as the champion anymore. Like, it was great that he won it. It was great that he, they gave him a shot, whatever. But now that he's defending it actively and stuff, it's just something's not clicking. Where it's like I'd rather just see Cody do it or Brody when they were the champ, whatever. I bought it, but for Darby, he's just not. There's something about it where it's like he just looks like he just ragdolls, or it's just like, how is this guy the champion? Like, I just don't believe it.
I definitely I'm a huge Darby Allin fan. I think he's world championship material, but I'm thinking there needs to. I'm hoping, may not by Double or Nothing, but like maybe by the summer, I feel like we need a new TNT champion. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
MJF maybe.
I mean, MJF or who just freaking what's his name? Oh my god, Scorpio Sky. But now they're already hit the ball on him. Someone where it just looks a little bit more believable. Like, Darby's great talent. He's a cool character. Whatever. Like how we were saying earlier, I'm going to go against the popular grain or whatever. But it's like I like him.
Lance Archer's good too. We have that. Oh, no, I'm not saying, like, it's not. It's too early to put the world strap on Darby, but, like, I'm saying, like, down the road, like, we're looking 2024, 2023 at the earliest.
Yeah, he's the future. He's the future for sure, but right now it just seems like he's a little bit too new, too amateur at it, whatever. Like, he's just not believable. I just don't believe him.
Here is a good analogy. To kind of a good way of putting this. So, like, in late '92, Shawn Michaels won the Intercontinental title. And people were okay with that. It was okay for Shawn to be the champion. Like, that was he was a solid guy in the mid, and he could be bumped up, accordingly. He had a few main events against Bret Hart and stuff, but, he wasn't, like, kind of... Like, he wasn't solidly that guy yet. It was like a good test. It was good testing the waters for Shawn at that time, but he wasn't like kind of the showstopper we know him yet. So then he hovers around that scene, and then by the time that Shawn Michaels wins that belt again in 1995, everybody's like, all right, cool. He's holding this, but like when he's done with the Intercontinental title this time, like it's off to the races for Shawn. I'd say probably, same thing. Similar things like with Jericho, like when Jericho first won the Intercontinental title from China in 1999, you were kind of like, okay, well, I mean, this would be a good spot for Jericho. But then it was like, when you like beat He Who Shall Not Be Named at the Royal Rumble in the ladder match in 2001, you're like, Jericho's going to be world champion and soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like giving the belt to, I don't know, freaking, now that I think of a wrestler. To me, Darby's great. Big fan. It's just not clicking as like a believable week after week champion kind of thing.
All right, so now the last part of the show. We did this the last time there was fucking release day, and I need to find a damn list of all the people that were released.
I got them.
Can you get an updated one too?
Yeah,
we have an update. Okay, so the following people.
Time out. So go through each one of these people individually, and let's say where we honestly think they should go. We love them all in AEW, but like, let's look with an objective eye to see if AEW could actually use this person, or if they would be like some of these names that are just kind of like, oh, hey, that's them in Dynamite sitting in the crowd. Hi. You know what I mean?
All right. Starting off, this one was a jaw dropper. Samoa Joe.
Yeah, I was shocked about this, but
what the hell? Like, I know he was like out because of injury, but it didn't seem like it was gonna be that long term.
Well, even if they would have just left him on commentary, he was awesome as commentary.
Now, see, here's the one thing. Like, I'm sad for Joe.
Man,
And
when I watched NXT, I was shocked that Wade Barrett still had a job because, like, wait, where the hell has he been?
I think
he's on commentary.
Here's a guy. I'm not happy that Joe lost his job, but I will say this: this was an understandable cut for the WWE, in my opinion. He's commentating. He's making a wrestler's salary. He's injury prone. You know, like if this were sports, you know, hey, you're great, but you're hurt all the time. You get released. I'm not happy that he's released, but it's one of those, like, of all the things I can play devil's advocate for, this is the only one I can't.
I think that's the same thing with Chelsea too, because she broke her wrist twice.
Right.
So they're kind of just like, well, I mean, how profitable will it be to keep you on them?
You know, like, I love Mojo. I wanted him to. I'm a Mojo fan through and through, but I can kind of see where it's like, look, we're paying you more to be a wrestler, and now you're commentating. Okay, so we're gonna give you less money because you're injury prone. I'm not taking less money. Okay, well, we don't want to re-sign you because you're injury prone. And that's like, that's unfortunate, but that's sometimes like that's of all the releases where it's just out of greed and stupidity. This is one where I can actually say this is kind of an understandable cut.
Yeah,
now,
but also quick sidebar: the new guy in commentary for Raw this week, I just was laughing because he was trying so hard to be good or just be different or whatever. But it kind of made me laugh because it didn't fit the style of the other commentators. But that's what I was saying. Whereas like Joe was, like, in my opinion, better than anyone on the team. Where if they would have just kept him on as commentator, then that would have been cool. But yeah, if they just didn't see the paying him the money or whatever, right, it wasn't worth it, man. Then I get that.
Joe, I agree with Mo. Joe needs to go to Impact or New Japan. I don't really see a role for him in AEW now. Maybe down the road, sure, but like AEW's roster is bloated enough as it is, and like they're already not doing stuff with Scorpio. I mean, yeah, they're doing stuff on Dark, which is fine, but like they're not doing stuff with like Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. So you want to bring Samoa Joe in? Like,
yeah,
he could join Team Taz.
Down the road, maybe, but I'm just like, not right now. Honestly, I will go on record saying this. There will be none of the male talent that was released will I suggest AEW for. Point blank.
Well, I can see Joe. I can see Joe there down the line, like you're saying. But if this is going to be a yearly thing, AEW should just start banking on it when to pick up people. Because in my opinion, they hired Paul White to be the commentator for the Elevation, and he's awful. They could have just waited a few months and got Joe to commentate, and would have been a way better value.
Let's see. All right, next up we have this one. You both know I was super pissed off with this one, not only because of their stupid breakup. We got Billy Kay and Peyton Royce who
send them to AEW. 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 Fuck yeah.
And form an AEW Women's Tag Team Championship already.
Remember what I just said about? I mean, like, granted, like they actually use tag team wrestling nights, so there might be a chance.
They had a tag team tournament, so it's like, okay, what about the belts?
Yeah, and half the people in that tournament were one and dones.
Yeah, they weren't really teams.
Stupid.
They were just
I don't even remember who won.
Yeah, I feel like they
Evilise and Diamante.
Yeah, and Evilise ain't even with the company anymore. So I feel like they need trios titles before they need women's tag titles.
Yes.
Now down the road, if they beef up their women's division keeps going up, and like, hey, here's some actually sure, but definitely don't introduce those belts until you're ready to actually make them worthwhile, so they don't end up being like the damn WWE Women's Tag Team titles.
I honestly would send them to Impact because they're great characters, comedy. They got over with the fans, but their matches weren't that good. They're not that good of wrestlers. They seem more of like Impact talent or whatever. If they went to AEW, their flaws would start showing more than their
But sometimes you just need
sometimes
you need characters though.
That is true, and I mean, literally, if they just keep them together, Vince is so weird for splitting up all these different teams. But if they keep them together, they're definitely going to be worth more than the sum of the parts.
Definitely going to be staying together.
Hopefully.
Well, but you don't know. But yeah, Sean Spears being in AEW might be an open door for Peyton, but maybe not Billy.
True.
You don't know.
I wouldn't mind seeing.
But I would rather both of them go to like.
I wouldn't mind seeing Peyton be like the female member with the Pinnacle. That wouldn't be too bad. With her husband, if you could only get one instead of the other. All right, next name.
All right, this one. Well, again, it's on again, off again. Mickie James. Me, I say yes, but for one stern reason, you need, I guess, like a strong leader for the women's division locker room. Just like how, we saw Eddie Kingston, he was the locker room leader for everybody, especially during Brody Lee's tribute. I think for Mickie, it would be good morale to say, hey, we got a kick-ass women's division we can actually help build. And Mickie James can actually be probably a very good coach for that. As a wrestler,
I'm with Mo.
We'll see.
I'm with Mo. Send her to NWA because her husband's over there too.
NWA is where Nick is.
So. Yep, that's her hubby.
I would not be against.
But also, Mickie James, she's not to say that like older people can't do the same, whatever. But she is older, so I don't know how much more ring, years she has in her. But like how Azy's saying, backstage, locker room leader, locker room coach. That's her role for sure. But yeah, I definitely see her going to something like NWA.
Yeah, I think.
I guess NWA with the hit and miss appearances with AEW.
I can see her having a match in AEW, like not.
Again, like
AEW. That might be the meanest thing I've ever heard said about Billy.
Because AEW has been, I guess, breaking forbidden doors for cross promotions, and hopefully, with this world getting back to normal, we'll actually see that. So, think next year. Mark my words, I think next year I would see Mickie James in a match with somebody.
I just don't want to see her wrestle anymore, really. I'm kind of over Mickie James. She's great. She had her time, but yeah, she's older and stuff, and I don't really want to see her get shots that other people could have.
Right.
But if she's going to be the backstage, like I said,
I mean, hey, she had a legendary match with Asuka, and Asuka won that.
So who's next?
Yeah.
That's Mickie.
Chelsea Green. I know your answer.
She's AEW for
sure. AEW. So someone said in the comments, and that's the thing too. There's money,
impact, but still,
there's money with her versus Britt. There's money with her versus whoever. Sheeta, I was watching.
Jade, Nyla, all of them. Yeah.
All of them. Yep. AEW. Right. This is the easiest. I'm sure she probably even got a call tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Tucker. I think somebody said Impact.
Yeah, he would be an Impact or an indie guy. I feel really bad for Tucker and the fact they broke up his tag team and then didn't even give him a fucking chance. And
this guy got chewed up and spit out by WWE.
That was fuck that. Yeah. But on the flip side, I'm not knocking him, but it's if I can't find a role for Samoa Joe in AEW, no offense to Tucker, but where's Tucker going to fit in?
But same with the Iconics, him and Otis are worth more together than Tucker. If he was going to go to AEW with Otis and they were going to do the tag team, then that would be okay.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, you're right. I agree with you.
Yeah, but Tucker just floating around. He's either an indie guy or he's just the Impact.
Who's next? Because I think we got a couple.
All right. Well, Lucha House Party officially over because Kalisto is gone. I can't see him going to AAA.
I'd see him doing that. I could also maybe a Ring of Honor, maybe New Japan.
That's what I was just gonna say.
I wouldn't say AAA, maybe CMLL. Because then he could. AAA talent.
Maybe New Japan for the junior.
That's Super Juniors, yeah. I know CMLL and New Japan have that relationship, so it might be CMLL, but I don't know. I'm not well versed in the in Lucha Libre, but I could see that, and I could maybe Impact a Ring of Honor too, like if he wants to pick up some dates in the United States. But yeah,
it just sucks, man. I remember seeing Kalisto when he debuted, like, what was it, 2015, I want to say?
Right.
And I was like, mark my words, in 6 months, this guy's going to be huge. Oh, man. I'm just lucky I didn't bet the house on that one.
Well, I mean, he did win the U.S. title for a minute. For a minute.
Yeah. But that's their problem, too, is for WWE, every guy is the next Rey Mysterio. That's how they always tried to preface it to him. So at first I was just on the hype train of like, yeah, this guy's he does crazy shit. He obviously Lucha Libre, whatever. Maybe he can be, but literally just nothing.
Yeah,
lost potential.
All right, and
but definitely, I'd love to see Kalisto and Best Super Juniors for sure.
Yeah. All right, next guy, I completely forgot he was even still with the company, Mojo Raleigh.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was the latest guy to be released.
I mean, put him in Impact and reform the Hype Bros.
Yes.
I see him going I see him going the podcast route, like Ryback. No one, no one's gonna see this guy. He's either going to be indie doing high school arenas, or he's just going to podcast and talk about his time.
Yeah. All right. Next gentleman. Now he actually has a good reason because he's actually looking to go into real estate. Ironically, Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
Why? How come he was gone? Because they said they haven't used him since 19. How come he's been gone this whole time? Injury or?
I don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know. And finally, a gentleman who was part of probably the
But Bo Dallas, I just see him doing the indies too. Like, I mean, there's just nothing really.
Probably, but again, he says like he wants to step away from wrestling. The last I heard, he wants to have a family and everything, settle down. It's like,
well, good for him.
We got that.
That is a good point because not every wrestler, if they get released or whatever, not every wrestler has to go to AEW or they have to be whatever.
Or they have to stay in wrestling. Maybe they're like, I want to do wrestling on the weekends and get a 9 to 5 and be off the road for a little while.
Yeah, or for females too. Maybe they want to have family, or maybe they want to do real estate, or maybe they want to open a restaurant. But yeah, like other dreams. Good for them.
No, he said he wants to be in real estate. Yeah. Next guy who was part of NXT's dumbest stable ever, who is now a forgotten son, Wesley Blake.
I don't know who this is.
He was the forgotten son.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Stupidest stable of.
Maybe Impact MLW, but I really unless the AEW people see something that I don't see.
No.
Yeah, I'm okay with.
Like he was supposed to have like. Okay, it says he was supposed to help. Oh my god, I don't know. I'm just like reading like his Wikipedia. It's like he had just stuff to do, and it's like. I don't know. He was supposed to like be part of Baron Corbin's thing, but it was aborted, and then it's like, yeah, he's done. So it's like I don't know who he was. He was a forgotten son. That's all I know.
And we've forgotten all about him.
I've never seen one match from them or anything, so it's hard for me to say where it will go. But is he good?
I don't know. Forgotten sons are stupid.
All right.
Well,
so funny. Tucker tweeted after his release saying, "Freedom, baby. Looking forward to telling my story." I guess he's going the podcast route.
He's going the podcast route. So, all right. Well, we have any more in the updated list?
That's all, unless they hit us with something tomorrow. So we wish the best in all of their future endeavors. Yeah. Roman Reigns.
Why does someone like Bowden's? Maybe, but I don't know. It's a lot to unpack.
Let's see if there was anybody more, because I know like this was again Black Thursday.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
speaking of all this too, last year with all those guys and stuff, what's his name? Zack Ryder and Brian Myers, they're actually doing really fucking good. They're with their own podcast and all their stuff. So congrats to them for figuring it out. But yeah, it's pretty crazy.
All right, here you go. Yeah. All right, comic.com. Again, I'm just like seeing anybody else. Josie Green, no. Kalisto, Wesley Blake, Bo Dallas, Mojo Raleigh. No, that was it.
All right, well, that's the show this week. Lot to unpack, lot going on. This last part threw a big monkey wrench into some of the other things I want to talk about. Definitely check out NXT this week if you haven't already. Kashia's match was good. Great cross promo. Great promo with all the women's champions. Roderick Strong resigned. He's going to the main roster. That's not going to be good for Roddy.
But R.I.P.
He has no. Well, he doesn't even have any. Got bad charisma anyway, and that's not gonna. I like Roderick, but that's gonna work against him on the main roster, even with their bad track record. But that's NXT. Thank you all for watching this. If you enjoyed, please give a like, share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of pro wrestling, but comic books, gaming, anime, and all things geek culture. Follow me on my social media pages: Facebook.com/AthleticGeekA9, Twitter @Athletic_GeekA9, Instagram @AthleticGeekA9. And if you'd like to help this channel out financially, hit me up on Patreon. It's Patreon.com/AthleticGeekA9. To the prize winners, your prizes will be out sometime next week. Got a real busy work schedule coming up, but I promise I will get those prizes out to you, especially the grand prize winner, who I know is really going to want, of all the things, he's definitely going to want Lex Luger on his wall more than anything else, so I will not keep Lex Luger from you. Easy! Got any social media?
Yes, I am. Guys, I'm on Twitter @EricZarens. Shout out to the podcast Wrestling Federation because they're awesome guys. Check them out. And also, if you happen to be in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on May 1st and 2nd, I'm going to be there to be seeing some IndyCar. So if you're a racing fan, tweet me up. Let's go watch some racing.
Go Jimmy Johnson.
And also, I'm getting my COVID vaccine on Wednesday. I'm so happy.
Go Jimmy Johnson or Joseph Newgarden.
Oh, fuck that. Go Team Canada, James Hinchcliffe. He actually tweeted at me yesterday.
I just like Joseph Newgarden.
On my
because he
channel.
likes Dragon Ball Z. So that's A-okay in my book. You got anything for sale on Macari that's actually for sale, not the fake stuff that I have that you're going to try and sell?
Or the fake health?
All right, what you got for sale on Macari?
Everything's for sale.
Everything's for sale. So, all right. So, thank you all for tuning in. This was a longer one, but hey, it's Marks After Mania, so that is to be.
This was an hour and a half. Baby.
It's an hour and a half. Hey, we're about an hour away from matching our record from the New Year's stream. But for Easy and Eric, I am the Athletic Geek. We're just Marks, and we're out. See you later.